Hello, guys. Thank you for joining us, those of you that are going to join us. This is going to be one of our first shows that we're hoping to be doing every Monday at 6 p.m. Central. This discussion is open for anyone that has questions, anything concerning the magical aspect of the craft or ancestral work, anything pertaining to mediumship that my husband can help, Reiki, or witchcraft. It's open to the public, open to our friends, always with respect.
We've done obviously a lot of videos on our YouTube, and we've shared one live broadcast with Lady Gravedance, and we've been very privileged to be part of her little community of people talking on the chat. Really, it actually says underneath that it says congratulations, this is our 50th broadcast. So it obviously is a little bit of both of us sharing knowledge on many different topics, but this is pretty much a live broadcast that we talked about yesterday, that we wanted to discuss things about magic, about the craft, about anyone who is going into this type of work. What advice would we give somebody who is beginning in the craft? And also various topics of philosophy, spiritualism, or anything that's with regard to any religious practice or belief, but we're focusing mainly on Wiccan beliefs, pagan beliefs, and welcoming anybody who is offering their knowledge and their guidance. And I really welcome questions on the dashboard for people to just type out, send off to us, and we will answer. And also I welcome one important thing for you to give your opinion and offer your advice.
Yes.
Because there's going to be many people wanting some answers as to certain things.
Thank you everybody for joining us. Tanya, Michael, Marianne Painter, Steve, Kendra, Bobby, all those that are joining us right now. Thank you so much for coming and spending a little time off of your time with us.
I'd like to start with just welcoming everybody, and obviously myself and Belinda. Life isn't easy most of the time, but we make the best of it, and we've decided that we've got to leave the past behind. We focus on the positive, and the negative is just something that we don't need. We don't want that we don't want to feed on that, because that's going to control us. But I'd say to everybody, we're not going to allow anybody to manipulate us or control us or try and destroy us into what we believe, into what we want to walk in that path. And I think it is very important that we encourage those who join. There might be someone who's joined who feels as if they are in a no-win battle, it's stuck in a corner where someone just cannot let them be free and do what they want to do. And I think it's important that we should let people know here that you can come here every Monday. We pushed it to today because we said yesterday on a live video that we were tired, but it's today, and we're congratulating many people out there who offer the craft, spell work, light and dark, to help their clients just as much as we do the same in our community of people. So we welcome those who offer their guidance, their love, their knowledge. And it is the old pagan way that we were sent on earth to teach, to show, and to guide people to the necessary direction that they're meant to go.
So if you guys have any questions that you're curious about, magically or whatever, we're here to open. Everybody talk amongst each other. One thing that this path has helped us create on To Love a Witch and on other groups that we have is that we've actually made a community of people that are connecting and have connected because of it. And it's a beautiful religion. It's a beautiful way, a path that only those that understand it can really truly appreciate. The ones that don't understand it, and they are afraid of it, they're ignorant about it. You know, it's their path, and we cannot get mad about that. It's what they believe in, and that's okay. If it works for them, it works for them. This works for us. So
Also would like to say that our followers, friends on Facebook, some we haven't met, but we feel like we've had that spiritual connection. They don't just watch us because they want to hear what we've got to say. They watch us because they like us as people. They enjoy our company. They want to watch what we say. And I'm sure you're those people there watching us at this moment, and you appreciate who we are. When we get people who don't appreciate us and they abuse and they say bad things, it is often something that we all go through in this world. We have someone who is going to try and block us in our path. We cannot go forward, and we just must maneuver around those people, diffuse the situation, and hopefully continue on. We may be slowed down by those experiences, but we're still moving forward, and that is what's important.
thank you, Tanya. Yes, indeed, Native American way is a beautiful, beautiful belief. I loved that. I actually started there.
Blessings to you as well.
Protectors of the earth, working with the elements. Very much, I feel like that. I love working with the elements and with what we have from Mother Nature, appreciating it and just using that energy. And that way we do connect. Very, very beautiful traditions. Yes. Blessings to you as well.
Blessings to all those who are there. Obviously, everybody's on that path for a reason, and we're on the chat together for a purpose. We're going to get something from this. We're going to walk away learning from each other, and that is what's important. I think healing someone doesn't just involve the light work. It does involve a little bit of the dark arts. That it helps those clients release and have closure if they're going through a bad time. Sometimes the love and light isn't the way. How are we going to get the justice that they require, that they need to help them deal with the things that they've gone through? And in order to understand the light, we've always said, as Belinda has said to me so many times, it took me a long time to open up and realise and focus that you have to understand the dark as well. It's all part of yourself, understanding those demons within, recognising why are they there in the first place. If they're not serving a purpose for the right reasons, if they're making us ill, not doing us spiritually, we must try and release and let go. But if they serve a purpose, we must balance out that light and dark, whether it's within our magic or within other various topics that we have or situations that we go through in life.
Blessings, Alan, and Ruth. Hello to
even
all
Michael,
of you guys.
Christian, above.
Michael.
Greetings to you as well. And hello, Ruth. We've got a mixture of different people, and we know certain personalities within this list. And the Native American gives me much energy and fire within my heart to feel that strength, and I'm pleased and thank you.
Exactly, Tanya. Very good. People don't realize the Native is also a blessing, very much so.
The negative is also a blessing.
The negative is a blessing because without the negative we cannot progress.
Yeah.
And there's times that although we may not be seeing it at the moment that we're experiencing the bad and the tribulations, eventually they're there for a reason. Everything, the good, the bad, all of it. None of it lasts. Even the beautiful part of life does not last, nor does the pain last. But we must take something out of it and not let it be in vain. So learning from negative people or negative situations, the hurt, taking out the best that we can derive from that situation, not to dwell on it, but to grow and pull out what is good of it. What is good of that situation that we went through? What did it make us realize? What did it make us become? For a positive, hopefully.
I just wanted to answer Alan Rice, and I looked at Tanya. You had that about that we cannot live in the light without the dark. Yes, I agree with that. Alan, when you said both positive attitudes, very inspiring. We all could be inspiring in this world, but we're not. We work and we give in different ways, and that's what's unique about us all, really. Mm-hmm. And whether we could be inspiring or we could have a bad attitude one minute, but we can't be consistent on who we are all the time. I think situations make us change our personality because we either care about them or we're mad and we don't believe certain situations should go this way. They should be the other way. We sent many questions about on our YouTube, whether it be philosophy, whether it be the craft or magic, it all goes back to setting what challenges have you set in your life for you? What goals have you set? And it's also marking that point about not allowing anybody to stop you from achieving those goals. We go through the challenges, we're going to achieve and we're going to get there. We're not going to allow anybody in the process to stop us. They're going to test us, but they're not going to stop us from getting to that destination. And that is where we have many destinations, but one at a time. We have drip by drip, and I would say let it all come to us. Let that flow of energy and those experiences come to us. But we have to get up and do something about it. I don't mean search for those experiences. I'd allow spirit to work with us. Let that flow of energy come to us. Mary Ann Painter, much love to you as well. We must believe in ourselves, be strong.
Very true.
What would you say about that, Belle?
Very true. Being strong, and actually, we don't put a lot of importance. Whenever problems, let's just put it this way: when problems come along, what is the first thing we turn to? We turn to our God, our Goddess, the divineness that we worship and that we believe in so much. What a lot of us fail to do is looking within ourselves and figuring out what is it that we are doing that is causing this problem. What can I do to change the problem? You cannot be asking for lighting a candle or praying to a god or a goddess or whatever you believe in, your belief system, whatever that may be, and putting all your energy into that energy force, but you're doing the same thing. You're not creating a situation to improve it. So in a lot of ways, you're the creator of your own reality, your own situation, good and bad and everything. And there's some things that we can't avoid. There's some things that we didn't ask for, but in a lot of ways, we kind of just ended up there by all the choices we've made. So the good, the bad, prosperity or love, and hurting, everything. We've called it upon us by every decision we've made. So if we are victims of abuse, I'm not talking about children and minors being abused. I'm talking about people that are grown adults that choose to be in an abusive relationship, or choose to be with someone that cheats on them, or chooses to not make more money because they don't want to get a better job, or they don't want to work at all, or whatever. There's a lot of ways that we can improve our situations by just thinking and changing the way we think and actually doing something about it. Not just praying or lighting candles or turning to magic with every problem that comes across.
Michael Christian, people have misconceptions about Wicca or witches, he said. They think you hurt people or make, I don't know what it says, I don't know what it says there. They make them do things they are uncomfortable with. Of course, this is false thinking on their part.
That comes with ignorance.
I'm not going to talk about. I could give my view, but because Belle has awakened me to this, I'm a beginner of the craft, but not a beginner soul. None of us are. But I'd like, as a witch's point of view, Belinda, with that powerful energy, to answer that question for me. About false thinking on their part. They think that we harm people. They pretty much have misconceptions about Wicca and witchcraft. What would you say to those types of people? What if you come into contact with someone who had that attitude? What would you say to them?
Like every religion has hurt someone. Without offending anyone, there's been more hurt and death with the Christian God than with any other religion. Like every religion and like everything in life, there's nutballs out there. So just because you're Christian or a Catholic or a pagan or a Buddhist doesn't make you not crazy. Now, I've seen situations where Christians have killed mass amount of people. I've seen situations where Satan worshippers, Luciferians, have done it. I've seen it where Wiccans or pagans have done it, or whatever. Just because you're in a religion or belief system does not make you not be crazy. That is completely and totally on that one individual. It doesn't make you perfect or not. It's just, what I'm saying is that craziness has no boundaries.
I must say that we may not believe the Christian view. We might have been down that path before. We might have had different religions. I'm a bit of an eclectic. I've got a bit of Buddha here and there. Different things going on. I take a little bit of knowledge, but I'm not going to grab it all. Don't open your mind to everything, because not everything you agree with. But it isn't the faith that let us down. It is the people involved in that religion that has caused the problems. It is the people, not the faith. So we must look at the Christian faith and some of the things we disagree with, but it is man itself that has put those things in, and the people in the church that has caused these problems. So they hurt us, and we have a different view on religion altogether. We want to feel safe, we want to feel secure, but the people in there hurt us, so we get a different view of it. So we look to find something else. And when we find it, it's truly what we really are. And that's okay. Another question. Tonya, our prayers can't be answered if we don't first pray.
Definitely. And prayer, once again, is a way of projecting your energy, once again, as a Wiccan or a pagan or a spiritualist or whatever. When you put your prayer thought out there, or chanting or enchanting or the circle, whatever you call it, or you're in the Christian belief and you lay your hands on someone and you pray, and there's prayer chains. This is a way of how people connect their energies to produce a reaction. So prayer is like work, very much so. Some do the ritualistic part with the anointing of the oil, placing of the hands. Some just do the prayer part, but it's all the same thing. If you're praying, you're trying to reach a certain, you want a certain energy to come towards you, like let's say for healing, and you get several people praying or chanting or in the circle, and you send that energy out. It is so powerful. We have more power in our mind than we can ever imagine, you can ever believe. Just having the belief system and knowing that by projecting and by thinking a certain thought, you can change so many circumstances. And I'm not saying that they're all going to be fixed and life's going to be absolutely perfect, because it never will be. We are human, and we're all here susceptible to many things in our life. But you can make it the best you can make it by being positive affirmations, which is something I'm always telling people about. The way you think, it's hard to always be positive, I know. But if you could just change a little bit, maybe indulge a little bit in crying. Yeah, because I do it too. I get angry, I cry, I get disappointed. But I will not indulge in it. I will get disappointed, cry, take a walk, come back, and I'll switch it around.
Tonya, again, obviously Michael Christian says thanks for your reply. We aim to answer as many people, and I welcome everybody to answer. It also says that it's our most commented video yet, so that's a positive. That lets everybody know who's in this video right now that your comment matters to us. It matters to everybody around us, because we are learning from each other. But Tonya, you said people have misconceptions because people like us with gifts will use their gifts to harm others. This gives us negative ideas of what we do.
Okay, with that, I want to answer this. How many people that are not in our belief system have bad thoughts about the neighbor or the coworker that just is a jerk? And you wish that that coworker didn't work there anymore. And you wish that that guy that just sped past you would crash or get stopped by a policeman or whatever. That is your power thought. Just doing that, same thing as when someone projects an energy that is negative. Just by thinking or by talking ill of a person, gossip. That is, in a lot of ways, craft. Because when several people get around together talking about a certain person, you're projecting that negative energy to that person. And whether you know it or believe it or not, that energy is going to affect that person. So whether you believe in enchanting or cursing someone, you do every day.
Tonya, again, prayers are energy we create, same as sage, but you have to give it positive directions. Indeed, and that is, it is what it is. That law of attraction, whatever we put in, if it's positive, it's gonna really just energize and work. I wanted to just shout out one question really that I kind of would like someone's opinion, so you're free to throw it out. I'm not going to give you mine because I want to hear somebody else's. What new emotions does the world need? What new emotions does the world need? Is it everything is in place, I believe, for us to use all those caring, loving energies. But at times we do need that dark side. But what is it that we need to put into the world? Have we lost the art of listening? I think we have. Is listening the most important thing of all? I think so. I think that to listen to another one open up about their feelings, you don't need to open your mouth. You listen and you're helping that person release and heal. They are recognising across the table that you're listening intently to what they're saying about their deep problems, and they realise that you care. And that's enough to let them know that there's a friend there by their side to help them through the difficult times, and using all of our senses, not abusing them, because it's going to be thrown back onto us. I believe that. But our ears, are we not listening enough in the world? Or are we listening more than ever? I don't know.
One more thing I'd like to point out. One more thing that the world does need, and we all need to work on it with each other, is acceptance. And acceptance of each other's beliefs, and acceptance of the way each of us choose to believe and love the person. Whatever, I mean, if you have, let's say, my children, and one of them becomes a Buddhist, one becomes a Christian, and one becomes a Luciferian. For me to understand them is to love them. For me to accept them is to love them. So acceptance is very important in our lives. That's one thing that a lot of people can't accept or choose not to, because you're a Democrat or a Republican, because you like the president elect or you don't. At the end of the day, you gotta make do with what is there. Okay? Accepting and loving each other just because we love each other, or we love our children or our husband, our sisters.
I think it's that difference of opinion. Say someone likes the new president-elect and someone doesn't. It's that difference of opinion where we're not. It stops us from listening more to each other. Now, what about all the other issues that are a little bit more important, like our spiritual journey? What if we disagreed then? I don't think we should disagree. I think we should disagree and tell them, I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't make that choice. But I respect you for doing that because you are on your spiritual journey, instead of turning around and going, well, I wouldn't do that. I'm not following your journey. Now, F off. I don't want to follow your... It's an ignorant way of being. Why don't we accept one another for the choices that we make in our own life? Penelope Breeze, it says, acceptance is most important to me.
Very, very, very true. And I've lost family members because of my belief system. I love them and I know they love me. But there's been, like, I've not seen them in over a year. And I love them and I do communicate and they communicate with me. But if they can't accept me, although I've accepted so much from them, it's sad for me, yes. It's hurtful. But I'm not going to dwell on it. It's their loss. I love them there, and it's okay. Maybe someday they will realize and just miss all that they're missing. It's okay as long as my heart is open, and I know in my heart of hearts that when my children are old enough to choose their life and their path and whoever they marry, as long as that person treats them well, and whatever path they take, and if they decide to live in Alaska, I am going to be there for them. I'm going to love my children, and I'm going to love my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, or whatever, if I have them. Very, very good. Thank you, Penelope.
Thank you.
Acceptance and loving each other. Even if you don't believe the same, it's okay. That's the thing. That's what makes the world go round. We shouldn't all. Michael and I have disagreements about certain things, creamers or whatever.
Or spirituality.
Or spirituality.
But if we don't accept each other's opinion or choice on a spiritual journey, because we're not going to follow everything, but we're there together as leaders, inspirers, guiders to others. But we're not going to go, well, you're inadequate and you're less than me because you believe that. Our families, if we are to disconnect from our families because they cannot, and we're really urging and trying to turn their change their mind into accepting us for who we are, then we're using all our energy for just that when we're not using it for other things that are more important. Let them live their path. Let them go on that journey on their own, because you're on your own journey. And that is what's important. Spending too much time on people that are going to just use that opinion or that not accepting us for what we do as a way of then firing back at us and using it as a weapon. It's just, we're not going to risk being in the scenes to allow them to do that to us. So we have to break free, and we have to accept that people come into our lives and people go, whether they live and they leave or whether they die and they definitely leave because they go to spirit world. But it's sometimes harder losing somebody in your life who is still living. But if they can't accept you, then it doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means they cannot see past all the good and all the positives as to why you're on that path and why you bring out all that love and energy and all the other things like the dark side to other people. Penelope, again, I'm going to say this for Belinda if you'd like to answer, and I'll answer her after if you want. My husband is an atheist. He believes in himself.
Very good.
Good.
This is a lot of it's okay.
Yeah.
If that's what it is, it is. I believe in a higher energy. I believe in my goddess. But in a lot of ways, like I tell people, you are the creator of your own situation. In a lot of ways, you are your own God. You create your own situation. You can make it happen if you want it to happen. Our deities are there. Our ancestral people are there. Our ancestors are there. But at the end of the day, if you don't make a choice and you don't change the situation, it's all on you.
She says we live in harmony mostly, laugh out loud. So if you're living in harmony mostly, that shows that commitment to each other, that respect for one another. If you want to wear red shoes one day and he's turning around going, well, I don't want you to wear red, I want you to wear black shoes, then that's stopping you from doing what you want to do. But if he's going, okay, if that's what you want to wear and you're comfortable with that, then that's acceptance again. That's him not fighting you to do something you don't want to do. And it's that respect for one another's path and journey, whether it be different, whether it be very similar.
Where's the next one? I think I can answer.
Michelle Steffler. I have a 7. Oh yeah, a 7
and 6 and 5 months
old.
old.
Sorry, I can't see. 7 and 6 and 5 months old. When I do spells, is it a good or bad idea to expose the kids to that? If not, what age is a good time to teach?
You know what? It's a good idea. I'm all for it. My children have been exposed to it from the very beginning. I'm open with them. They were exposed to the Christian route. They were exposed to the Catholic route. They're exposed to my belief system. And they join in when we're doing certain spells. I started teaching my children meditation when the oldest one was about 3. Okay, he's 16 now. We do candle magic together. They believe in the mojo bags, which they take to school. If they have a test, they want to do a ritual. So yes, involve them. Teach them your way. At the end of the day, when they're older, and if they don't like it, then it's okay. But I don't see anything bad.
Would you agree that softening with the love and the light and the healing type of work with the children is the first thing you should do before, and then as they could become older, if they were ever to learn about the dark magic and the negative, that would be their choice, but you wouldn't put that in front of them straight away?
The first thing I ever started with my children, like I was saying, was meditation. And I did saging around the house, and I did projection of prosperity and love. When I do dark spells, I do not have them in the room with me.
No.
Why? Because it does not pertain to them. I do tell them, if someone fucks with you, you let me know,
back.
and I'll take care of it. But to have them in a room where I'm doing my dark spell, no, I have that in another room, in a circle, where I go there by myself. Not even my husband is allowed in there. It's me on my own.
I really don't.
I do believe the children, I have had them get their own candle, put their own intention into it. I've had them go outside, to the moon, to the full moon, project what they want and burn it. So, I mean, I've had them do rituals, fantastic, anything that's positive. When it comes to the darker arts, because I believe in that I need to protect myself, and I've been doing it for over 40 years, okay? I know how to do it. I know how to protect myself. So, in that matter, I would never have my 16-year-old going into the circle, into the circle and do a dark spell. I'm going to be excused for like 2 minutes and I will be right back. Continue with the questions and I'll get to them.
3 and 10-year-old, they work with me. My oldest takes amethyst in his pocket for his test rate. He is there. Is there a better help for him? Penelope, I believe that what you're doing is right. You're being guided by your guides and ancestors to make those decisions. And in your gut feeling, you know you wouldn't have done it if it wasn't right. You wouldn't have. And I think a mojo bag with crystals, I think some herbs and spices, and something that really is protective for him, that you sew up, for him to hold in his pocket, for him to hold and just put intention of love in, to keep him strong and in his pocket. I think you're doing the right thing. I think amethyst is a very psychic crystal, and it opens up the third eye to many things. But I think when your children are of a young age, I think they've not lived enough to experience those problems of life. And I think when you go through negative situations when you're older, those demons start to come out in you because of you're reacting to the problems that's going on in your life. So a child is innocent and a shining light before I'm concerned in this life. So to bring them, why should they focus on the negative things and be angry when they've not lived life to see those things happen or act for someone else? I think seeing the love and light and being protected by mother and father and being loved is the first thing you teach, with the rights and wrongs and principles about what you do and you don't do. And we've got to be brave and we've got to have courage to, when they turn 18, when they decide to leave into the outside world, then we do everything we possibly can to protect them from abuse, to protect them from those that are going to hurt. But the world that is the way the world is. Our parents were like that with us. They were stopping us from wanting to go, be protective. Some parents wouldn't be like that, and that's a sad thing that some of us didn't have the support from parents that we hope to have. Tonya, our Creator made the earth. We can see messages from heaven with signs from the animals, plants, minerals and weather. We have to listen and see, just like using herbs, oils and stones to create energy. Let's just see more. To create energy of good. I think that when we use herbs and we use various crystals, and obviously with myself with the Reiki, it's that intention, and it's putting your energy onto it, and it's every particular spell or every particular herb is personal to us. It has an intention and a situation for different circumstances, and using the 4 elements of earth, air, fire, water and spirit is indeed something we should do, and recognising that Mother Earth, the goddess, has this beautiful earth and environment and nature for us to enjoy. And I think it's important for us to plant plants outside and give back to Mother Earth. Feel the soil between your fingers and breathe the beautiful air that comes by, and feel the sun. Enjoy outside and not be closed in inside. Get to know where you were born, the earth that you were born on. Giving back to Mother Earth, and because she's given us the skills and the fruits and all of everything, all the creation of the animals in this world. So we need to be thankful and feel blessed for what we have and the life that we have around us. Is hematite a good stone to use?
It's a fantastic stone to use. Beautiful stone. If you want to grab your Bible real quick, you can talk more about hematite.
Yeah. And then there's another. We will get to you back on the hematite. She said it was good, but I'm going to give a more in-depth view. Michael Christian, do you? I can't. Skyclad.
Do you skyclad?
If so, since you're a couple, is it proper to do that in front of others Just curious, just wondering how a husband or boyfriend feel about having his girl exposed to others.
Whatever that is, I've never heard of it.
Just curious, sorry if that was too bold a question.
I don't know what that
Never
means.
heard of it.
Never heard of it. We do not.
But I will, if it's
we'll look it up.
If it's a rather amusing question, then I'll probably have a laugh when I find out what it is. If someone else could give me a view, or if Michael, you could tell me what it is, I can help you more in depthly. Sky clad.
Look for that other stone.
I will. Obviously, we need to use books from time to time, but it's good to connect with your inner self in meditation, with spirit, to receive the knowledge in that way, because a book is someone else's opinion. It's information that they've brought from themselves. But we've got a crystal Bible, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to search Hermitite, and I'm going to give a view for Kimberly Clemens on what it says. As a Native American, right, okay, let's keep reading. Tonya, as a Native American, we can take only what we need and we give back a gift.
Okay.
What can we say about that, Belle?
As a Native American, we take only what we need. Yes, indeed. When I do prosperity spells, and no, we do not skyclad. We do not do naked stuff. We do ritual work in our own home. Nude at times when we want to, when we feel the need to do it. I used to do it a lot before Michael was here. We do it, but we probably, would I ever do it in front of people?
Yeah.
No.
He said dancing naked with others.
I love it. I would love to do that, but maybe when I was younger, I don't think I'd be looking too great out there right now, dancing naked at 45. But
and myself, I'm putting on a bit of a belly from in the enjoyment of food. So.
But you know what I would do? Topless. Topless with perhaps a really long skirt. I would do that. As long as everybody else was naked, I'd be all for it.
I think it's just that acceptance and not being embarrassed around. And when people do it, I remember there's a few stories with Stonehenge back in England, Wiltshire, where obviously that very lovely place with energy and the big stones are just huge. And I think there was times back then where they did do that around dancing around a fire.
You know, who's to say I wouldn't? Because I'm so open and free, a hippie of the year, of the time now. Hippie been forever. So maybe if I saw a bunch of 40, 60-year-old people doing it, I'd probably join in. I mean, I've been known to do crazier things.
And I think actually there'll be many groups of people that do it for different reasons. So we've got to take that into consideration. Back to the Hermitite,
yes.
It talks about it being particularly effective at grounding and protecting. Mm-hmm. It harmonises the mind, body and spirit used during out-of-body journeying. It protects the soul and grounds it back into the body. This stone has a strong yang element and balances the meridians, redressing yin imbalances. It dissolves negativity and prevents negative energies from entering the aura, restoring peace and harmony to the body. Hermitite is said to be beneficial for legal situations. Psychologically, Hermitite is strong. It supports timid women, boosts self-esteem and survivability, enhances willpower and reliability, and imparts confidence. This stone removes self-limitations and aids expansion. It is a useful stone for overcoming compulsions and addictions. Hermitite brings attention to the unfulfilled desires that are driving life. It treats
actually English.
Overeating, smoking, and any form of overindulgence. Hermitite helps you to come to terms with mistakes and to accept them as learning experiences rather than disasters.
Just a fantastic stone. It gives you strength and grounding ability. So I would recommend that for divorcees.
To
women.
answer, my accent isn't Scottish. There is Irish in my family from my grandfather. My mother would be half Irish, that might be a quarter. But I'm actually from the West Midlands, from England. So there's a little bit of a slang there with probably Scottish and Irish roots. But I am from the centre of England, so probably about 18 miles away from Birmingham.
For balance, you know what I love? selenite.
He said we use it for need for balance. We use it for anything we need for balance. So it's very powerful. So we may need other crystals, but if that hematite's going to come in, I suggest, as I've read it, I've learned something myself that we may just use that with a selenite, and we're going to go forward. And I'd use the amethyst as just a little bit of my own personal thing for that clairvoyance. But it is for balance and protection and many other things, grounding. This is why I follow you too, Penelope said. You don't just say what goes in, you say why. This is what we need to all do. If we're all doing it already on the list, don't want to offend, but you need to answer the questions.
We love you guys too. Thank you so much.
We need to answer the questions. If we're asking people to we're inviting them to express their view and they want an answer, we're not going to sit there and not give you the best of our ability to give you the answer. And Spirit, I believe, are connected to all of us right now through that love, through that energy, and we're giving healing in imagining ourselves in that circle together. And I take the energy from Tanya and many other people that have given their view, and I'm so pleased that we've had so many comments already. Michelle Steffler, do you have your third eye open? If so, I'm very interested on learning how I can do that. I've been told it's probably trying, but is there something I can do to help it? There's various steps. Obviously, Belle has hers. I would have mine through the Reiki, through meditation and various steps. So I will give you my view on how I would do that. But for purposes with regard to revealing information about the Reiki, I would talk to you private on that. But Belle, you can open up to telling her how you would do that. I would put first, though, a selenite or a crystal that is of very much a psychic power in the crystal and intention on my third eye while I'm meditating.
Yes, that's a very good way to begin. But if you don't have any of these, when I first began doing and working on my third eye, I was about 14, and I began with meditating and focusing on my chakras. Eventually, by the time I was 17, I was pretty much there, and I began having out-of-body experiences. How did I open my third eye?
Hello, Kelly, who's just joined us. That's a childhood friend of mine. Also, Marianne, a cousin of mine. Love to you both.
So the way I began is by beginning to meditate. First of all, by covering and protecting yourself with a light, a white light that protects you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Once you master the technique of meditation and going through your chakras to release all the negative energies, once you get to this part right here, which is your third eye chakra, you would begin to concentrate. And one technique I like to use is by pressing the tip of my tongue to the top center of the divot or bend in the palate of my mouth. So by putting that up, it kind of makes you connect direct. You get a completely different feeling in meditation. You may have to disconnect at times because it gets so powerful. It connects you like immediately. When you are there, what I want you to focus on is, with your eyes closed, pretend that you're looking in the center of your eye. And I want you to pretend that there's a light or an eye. Imagine an eye opening. Visualize the eye, and the power of meditation and the power of projecting what you need to happen is the power of the mind. The stronger you have the ability to project and to actually see what you want to happen, that's the stronger your spell's gonna be and your intention's gonna be. So to open your third eye, you continue to do this. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen the first time, second or third time you do it, but with practice, you imagining your eyes focused to the center and imagining that eye, it will open. But believe me, you will have side effects of headaches. Don't forget to close it up. So when you're done with your meditation, you do not want to open your eyes with your third eye open, because you will see, you will feel, you will pick up many negative things. What you do when you're about to open your eyes is you put it out like you would do a candle. So you do this right to the eye just to close it. Then you practice again the next day and the next day until you are able to just open it when you need to open it.
What we've got to realise is that in this world, for the spiritual journey, spiritual work that we do, We have so many different methods and ways to do that, and we will find in our own way what's comfortable for us to do, and we will ask Spirit, ask our guides, ask our ancestors to help us understand more. And I think, Michelle, you can message me privately, or Belinda, and we will give you a more in-depth view on how you would open the third eye. But it is a process that you must take care of, where you're having to heal your energy centers as well, and go through the necessary process.
And very true, Tanya. When I do my meditations, I begin from the bottom up.
As a tree,
As
yes.
a tree, I do that all the time. I never receive from the top down. I begin from my feet, energizing, connected into the earth, and actually filling me up with that energy.
I have to admit, on my meditation workshops, as we've done them here at our home with people, I have started from the universe, and they've become rather heavy with a headache, and that was something that it helped them. It was another way, but as I started from the ground and imagining us being that root, our feet being the root, and us being the tree and strong, and having to withstand the storm and all of the things, that the bad weather, the tree still stands after that hard storm. We're still strong at the end of it all, and that's what we are. As Tanya said, the tree, the roots, we ground ourselves to earth, we protect. And I've taken that route where in our chakras we follow the colour for red being the root, but we don't have to do it that way. We do it our own way, and that is what we're free to follow, that go on that journey, doing our own methods, our own intention. But we must remain protected. We must surround ourselves with that bubble of energy, that light, because those are the dimensions of spirit world, vast amounts of dimensions. But if we can protect, we're not going to go far wrong, really, if we show positive and strong energy. We're going to use negative, and we're going to feel weak inside and feel bad about ourselves and mess with these energies. Those energies that are negative are going to come to us and
I'll be right back.
And use us in another way, and use it against us, because that's just the way it works. We attract the same type of energy. I feel in this world we have a lot to give to each other, and it is that blessing in this world that we should listen more and speak less. Allow that other person who has spent so much time listening to other people, for the first time, allow them to talk and express their feelings and their views on certain situations. You be the listener instead of being the speaker for a change, because that is all part of the healing too. Using that tongue wisely. We think before we speak. No, we don't always do that. And that is the lesson we have to learn. Using these senses that we've been given and the various skills in this world to use them wisely, not abuse when we use, and not hurt someone else to get our own way or to get our point across. If they can't, like I said, if they cannot accept what we say, if they cannot accept what we believe, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to just be a messenger, a light worker, working in the dark arts too, a healer, whatever I am, a teacher. I'm always going to be coming back to being the student. We all are. We're student, we become teacher. Then we're still going to learn something new every day. And I kind of feel emotional inside that there are people that have not seen my view, and that is members of family in the back where I live. But they're on their own journey, and I don't judge them for that. Someone asked me a question, actually. Do you need a god or a goddess? Do you need God or a divine energy to be a good person in this world? No, we choose to be a good person because we choose to be. We don't need an influence, but it's nice to just have a deity there that we can honour, that we can recognise, because for someone like Hecate, who has been there and called upon Belinda when she in the hardest times needed God to help her, and the Hecate came along and heard her voice in a dream, she always honours that goddess now. She always gives back. She is always thankful for what is given to her. Tanya, again, as a Native American, when we work with energy, we do have to protect ourselves, because bad energy is attracted to our light. Correct.
Very, very true. So
Margarita Wilkinson. Is that Margaret? Margaret Wilkinson.
Margaret Wilkinson. Yes. What is the question?
That she's just watching.
Thank
and
you
welcome.
for watching. We're down to our last 5 minutes, guys. So if you have any more questions, put them in. If not, remember Monday we're gonna be coming back on at 6 for 1 hour once again, unless something changes.
Yeah.
We're
going to commit to that every week, and hopefully we're going to push to it be a radio station or a Google Hangouts chat room, which I'm going to invite people to, so we can get the link, and I will then upload onto YouTube. So anybody who has a view, you'll be on those videos, expressing your views and opinions. And I'm very much welcoming people such as the Native American with much of a vast knowledge of the elements and of the spirit. I find that is something that is just a blessing in our conversation tonight. And everybody else, you all have had something to give, even if you didn't say anything tonight. You were watching, you were here, you might have liked to comment, and that is, you would be a part of that connection, that energy of healing and love. We're probably doing a little bit of shadow work on ourselves as we embark on a journey in this conversation to learn about different things.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys, Tanya.
Blessings to you as
and
well,
all those
Tanya.
that have joined us the whole night. Many blessings to you guys. Like we say, we're always available. We're very busy, so we have we take time. By the time we answer you, it's because we have a very hectic lifestyle. Not only do we have our business, we have 4 children, a husband and wife, and we have a lot of things that we do.
Michelle,
we have our YouTube channel that we would love for you guys to see.
Kendra, thank you.
And join us on. Belinda Reedy, The Witch in Love 2, number 2, and Michael James Reedy, Spiritualist.
Medium Michael James Reedy. No, it's Michael James Reedy, Medium and Reiki Master Brujo. That has opened up many different questions that I fire out, and I tell you what I feel. Then everybody else comments, and there's been a bit of the craft as well. Please tune in to the channel on a recent love spell that I did for both of us. Not because I wanted to strengthen, but because I just wanted to protect because of certain people. And that sometimes we have to take that. I want to fire one question before we leave. Do you guys discuss religion and politics to your friends, or would you openly discuss politics more and be confident to do that than you would your own religion or your own belief? What would you do? How would you feel? To answer that question when we leave, you can still comment on the dashboard, and I'll be interested to know what you think. Are friends the type of people that we can talk to all the time? Are they people who will not judge us and accept us for our religion and accept us for our view on politics? If we disagree politically with our friends, would that change our friendship? It shouldn't. It should be. There should be a lot more things at stake than just a disagreement. That comes again with the acceptance of each other and acceptance of each other's belief systems and thoughts and whatever. If we love each other, that should be a whole other different story. I'm not gonna stop talking to my neighbor that I love just because I don't agree with the religion or the politics that they believe in. No, that is a different thing from loving the person and connecting to people each and every day. Acceptance, one big issue in our lives, which we're still dealing with our family and stuff. But as long as we have a clear mind and we know that we accept them, although they don't accept us and maybe not like us or love us, maybe not like us very much right now, it's okay because we love them. Blessings, Jahira Perella. The only advice that my grandfather gave me when he was alive back in England was in a pub, when you're drinking in a bar, those things you don't discuss. You don't bring together politics and religion. You don't bring war and world issues, because there are going to be a lot of people, you will notice, in that bar that are not of your same likeness. They will just fight and look for and pick a fight and totally just want to use what you're saying against you. And we just have to think about how we say things in the right environment, really.
One thing you do need to know, that if you are open to listen to other people's comments and you want them to listen to yours, you need to listen to them and say, okay, that's very interesting, and accept what they believe. Don't try to convince them of your belief, or if they try to convince you of theirs, you know it's going to get ugly. This is the reason why I do not talk about politics or religion, not even with Michael.
No.
It's just something I do not have
Because
to do.
it's not her interest, and it's with respect not to others. It's a respect that it's something that she believes in, a principle of hers, and that's fine. And Tanya, you said be open to talk about anything, be it religion or politics, not be afraid. Yeah, the freedom of speech, just be. And if somebody doesn't like it, then you've got to, again, it's like a test, manoeuvre around them. There are going to be people that will want to listen to you about religion and politics. There's 7 billion people in this world, and there will be a lot that will want to hear your voice. And we must recognise that those that don't want to hear your voice, those that don't want to agree, don't want to talk about it, they're on their journey too. They have a purpose also, and that cannot be ignored.
Very good. So with that, guys, we're going to wrap it up. And I hope you join us again next week
for the To Love a Witch talk show live, and it will be on the craft and spell work.
And if you have any questions by then, please feel free to ask us the questions. I love you guys for joining us. Please like, subscribe, share, and follow us on YouTube. Many blessings to you guys, and have a wonderful, blessed night.
Thank you, and much healing to all of you. We all come from many reasons, and we all have something to give also. We have the giving and receiving. So many blessings all, and thank you, and take care, and we'll see you next week for this To Love a Witch live discussion. Thank you.